Hey everybody, Brian Altano here, and in today's gaming news, HiFi Rush players are review bombing the game on Steam, but in a good way. Xbox President Sarah Bond has responded to the company's multiple recent studio closures, and it went about as well as you expect. And the awesome new indie game Animal Well has a puzzle in it that requires 50 players to solve. It's the Daily Fix. Oh hey, remember HiFi Rush, that stylish, critically acclaimed rhythm action game that surprise launched on Xbox and PC last year and was called a breakout hit in all key measurements and expectations by Aaron Greenberg, the vice president of Xbox marketing? Well, apparently none of that was enough to feed the insatiable profits incinerator known as Microsoft, because earlier this week they decided to permanently close Tango Gameworks, the studio that made it, along with the Evil Within series and Ghostwire Tokyo. Man, if you can't keep your studio open by doing everything right, then why bother even making games at all? Anyway, to add insult to injury, HiFi Rush is now being review bombed by fans on Steam. But wait, that's not insult to injury. They're review bombing it with positive reviews. Well, that's not a bomb at all. What do you even call a good bomb? A firework? Either way, hundreds of Steam users are flooding the game's official page in support of the now closed studio by leaving tons of kind messages in review form. And folks, you love to see it. As of the second I'm writing this, HiFi Rush has over 21,000 user reviews, and the majority of them are overwhelmingly positive, which makes it the highest rated Microsoft or Bethesda game on Steam ever. Hot damn! It's so awesome to see the community rally around a tragedy and turn it into a victory, even if it won't overturn Microsoft's awful, short-sighted, and flat-out stupid decision to shut down that studio forever. Yes, it's stupid. As of right now, HiFi Rush has even more concurrent players than Forza Motorsport, last year's big first-party racing game and Xbox's latest live service game. HiFi Rush is exactly the kind of game Xbox should be making right now. It's a unique, original IP created by a Japanese game studio, a region where Xbox has always struggled. It's a gorgeous and fun single-player game, which Xbox needs more of, and critics and audiences alike loved it. But hey, maybe it didn't make their parent company billions of dollars in profit, so I guess it's time to throw the franchise and everyone who made it into the fire pit. Well, surely somebody at Xbox has a good excuse for why they did that, right? Right? They don't. Xbox President Sarah Bond has responded to questions about Microsoft's decision to shut a number of much-loved studios this week, insisting it was about ensuring the Xbox business remains healthy for the long term during what she called this moment of transition. God, you gotta love that grade A PR training at work, folks. Speaking in an interview with Bloomberg's Dina Bass at Bloomberg Tech in San Francisco, Xbox President Sarah Bond was first asked about the video game industry's current lack of growth, a troubling factor Xbox boss Phil Spencer pointed to recently when asked for an explanation for Microsoft's decision to cut 1,900 staff from its gaming business. She said, it's always extraordinarily hard when you have to make decisions like that. I'll go back to what I was saying about the industry, and when we looked at those fundamental trends, we feel a deep responsibility to ensure that the games we make, the devices we build, the services that we offer are there through moments. And even when the industry isn't growing, and when you're through a time of transition, and the news we announced earlier this week is an outcome of that, and our commitment to make sure that the business is healthy for the long term. When specifically asked about the recent studio closures, Bond said, one of the things I really love about the games industry is it's a creative art form, and it means that the situation and what success is for each game in the studio is also really unique. There's no one size fits all to it for us, and so we look at each studio, each game team, we look at a whole variety of factors, and we're faced with making decisions and trade-offs like that. But it all comes back to our long-term commitment to the games we create, the devices we build, the services, and ensuring that we're setting ourselves up to be able to deliver on those promises. Okay, thanks, Sarah. It's nice to know that your long-term commitment to games involves repeatedly crushing the studios responsible for them, thus leaving the people who make these games without the means to do so, or, a livelihood, which ultimately results in less games for us, the people who play them. Former project manager at Tango Gameworks, Kazuaki Egashira, responded to the recent closure of a studio with an implication that HiFi Rush was somehow not successful enough to continue as a franchise, despite being called exactly that previously, by posting a picture on Twitter of multiple awards and accolades the game received from critics, along with the words, "Not enough? That made me really sad and really angry. Here's hoping the good folks at Tango find new jobs and awesome new projects for years to come because they deserve it. And I hope the beach mansions owned by the endlessly profit-chasing C-suite executives at every video game company slowly slide into the ocean. Bon voyage. That's enough sad news for one day. Let's get into something fun. Join me in the bottom of an animal well. Wait a minute, that sounds terrifying. The incredible new Metroidvania meets interactive toy box indie game that IGN just awarded a 9 out of 10 to, and also one that I set up way too late playing last night. I earned these bags under my eyes. It's so good. Animal Well is full of weird mysteries and obscure, seemingly impossible obstacles that are slowly revealed to be possible as you progress and collect more items to use in weird and creative ways. It's so fun. But one room in the game had me totally stumped, and it turns out I couldn't solve it alone. I just needed 49 other people to help me out. So one day after the launch of Animal Well, the community is about to solve this puzzle. Mild spoilers for Animal Well collectibles ahead. I haven't even finished this game yet, so I don't even want to spoil it for myself, so you can trust me here. Okay, so there are a couple of different types of collectibles in Animal Well. 4 of them are part of the core path. They needed to be found to unlock the ending of the game. Then there are literally Easter eggs hidden everywhere, like little fancy decorative eggs. They get displayed in a cool room with a giant peacock in it. I sound crazy right now. But then there's a really hidden set of collectibles, which is a bunch of rabbits. Okay, now I sound crazy. Early on in the game, players will pass a massive 40 by 10 mural of a pixelated rabbit mid-hop. At first, it seems like this mural is just decoration, but once you enter the late game rabbit hunt, it becomes increasingly suspicious. Poking around further in the same room reveals a control panel that lets players manipulate the mural's tiles, and digging even deeper will give players access to a 4x4 grid of tiles similar to the ones on the rabbit mural. Very Pepe Sylvia right now. But taken alone, it's not clear what the solution to this is or how the 4x4 grid factors into the big rabbit. It turns out every player has a different 4x4 grid of tiles. Tinfoil hat is going on my head. That when put together seem to form a complete image. That means in order to finish the new image that needs to replace the existing rabbit, the community needs to work together to assemble a total of 50 unique tiles, and that's assuming that no one shows up with a duplicate. Are you following this? I hardly am anymore. However, in just the first 24 hours since release, the community has figured out the mural secret and contributed even more tiles, and the picture is starting to come together. I can't wait to see what happens next, and also to see what other secrets players uncover in Animal Well, because this weird, deep game is seemingly full of them. I love when like an indie game like this comes out and it just takes over the world by storm, and it's just fascinating. I love when stuff like this happens. I've been playing video games my whole life. When weird ass games like this become successful and become big hits, it just warms my heart. Donkey, don't close the studio. I don't think you will, but like we covered enough games today that were successful that got closed down. So just make more Animal Wells. And that's your daily fix for Friday, May 10th. If you want to know more about Animal Well, go watch IGN's very positive review by Rebecca Valentine. She's one of the many to praise it, so I guess you could say it's reviewing well. Terrible joke. If you want more of my weird face talking about video games, go watch this week's editions of IGN's PlayStation Show, Podcast Beyond, and IGN's Nintendo Show, Nintendo Voice Chat. I'm on both of those. We have fun here. Thanks so much for watching The Fix today. I love you all, and I hope you have an awesome weekend, and we'll see you back here on Monday. Oh, don't forget, Sunday is Mother's Day. I don't know if that's like all over the world, but at least here in America, it's Mother's Day. It might be in Canada. Australia probably has a Mother's Day there. I don't know what they do over there. It's really far. Get something for your mom or your wife or your grandma, or go visit the Mother Brain. She's at the end of most of the Metroid games. Haven't had one of those in a while. She's lonely. She misses you. Send her some missiles and say thanks. Thanks for watching. We had fun today, and I will see you soon. Mwah. I don't know why I did that at the end. Doesn't matter.